We are recording.
Hi, YouTubers!
Okay, this, so, everyone remembers, this game, after today, will not meet again until the, what is it, the 8th? Everyone remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope.
Refusing to remember that.
Okay, well then you're gonna be very disappointed when you show up next session, or next week, on the 18th, or the 25th, or the 1st, and nobody's here to play with you. Unless other people forget, in which case, the people who forget will be here. So, next session's on the 8th. Okay, next session's on the 8th. Last session, I believe you guys were... You finished up in the temple, made your way back over to Amarand. I remember the name of the village. I'm going to put it into chat yet again for it to be wiped away by our other roles. I should probably really type it somewhere else, but...
Type it on the screen or on the GM later.
See? This is why we have Sky around. Because he's got all these good ideas. And I unfortunately can't get rid of the home because...
It was on the other map.
Yeah, it was on the other map when I did the copy-paste. Or the clip, or whatever you want to call it. So I could actually do it, but it'd probably be a pain in the butt. But hey, home has a name now. So you made your way back to Amarand Village, where you found Bryn, Aiden, Biddle, and Beam. Having made up a... made up an encampment, apparently believing they were going to be there for a while. After some discussions, I believe you guys made arrangements to return home. Or, wait, Iriana had a plan for you guys to return home.
Yes.
Okay.
Did we finish up with the fairy dragon
Yeah.
like we did?
And then you guys decided to go over to the Enchanted Pond, where you collected the fairy dragon eggs, I believe. And we're in the middle of collecting the hoard, in which you found two magical items, a necklace and a bracelet. Most of the rest is valuable, but not specifically magical. And with that, I guess let's pick it up with with Iriana having just um, left the two magical items in the pile, as Rogar is continually bringing up handful after handful of jewelry and
I do
such.
want to retcon just one or two things. When he was doing or she was doing the inspection and looking for stuff, I would have been underwater and would have not stated that, hey, I'm only giving you permission to get the gems, not the other stuff. So if he did want or she did want to take those or whatever, I would have never said it's only this up to that point because she said that she was investigating for everything, not just for the gems. So I don't want that to interfere with the thought process of what she does with the gold or with
That,
the items she sees.
that's right. You guys were also looking for gems in the pile too, or
But that's
diamonds
like I said. I
specifically.
want to retro that. So if she did want to get those magical items, she could have.
I'm also going down into the pond and helping bring stuff up.
Okay. So Sky and Rogar are bringing the horde up. Um, we have Lazem and Iriana are up going through the pile that's been brought up looking for the diamonds, and Iriana has just noticed the two magical items.
Alright, then I will set the items aside and wait for someone who's. I guess Latham is able to identify them, so I'll hand them off to Latham.
Okay, so you're asking Lazem to identify them?
Sure.
Okay. Well, which one would you like me to identify?
Both of them?
Okay. All right, there are two identify spells. And what shall we apply to each?
Okay. The necklace is an amulet of health. And the let's see here, where is it? The bracelet is a custom item, of course, because that's just the way I play around. Okay, bracelet is a bracelet of enhanced ability. That is not what was supposed to go in there. Of course this isn't working. Basically, it allows you to cast enhanced ability. I can't get it to copyright at the moment. But it lets you cast enhanced ability. Let's go twice per day.
Cast enhanced agility twice a day.
Enhanced ability.
Or abilities.
Yeah. Why is this not? What am I doing wrong here? So, yeah, you've got those abilities, or those items available to you if you want.
What's pasting in, or how's it pasting in?
Well, first of all, when I put it in, it's leaving a whole bunch of stuff highlighted, set as
Ah,
links, and then I tried a different way, and it's like cutting off, like, everything, like the first 3 letters of every line.
if you try copying, then hit Control Shift V.
I think I got it to work.
Does it require attunement?
Nope.
Then it's what, concentration up to an hour?
That didn't. Darn it. Yeah. Okay. I put all that stuff in there too. Okay. So you know what those two items are.
Uh, how are you going to distribute them, or are you?
I mean, you have them right since you were the one identifying.
Yes, I have them. They're in my bag of holding, but I I don't know whether I should be the one using them. Is there anyone else who would benefit more than I?
I don't know if I'm there or not, but last week I mentioned that we should see if one of the rest of us can leave the area with any of this stuff before we leave, because last time we were here, Lazem and somebody else, I'm not sure if it was Ariana or if it was me, or two of us tried crossing beyond the trees, and the treasure just disappeared and ended up back in the lake.
That's an important point. Well, I guess we could do that. I mean, I've got the two magic items. I can walk away from this lake and see if they stay in my possession. How far do I need to go?
I think you did that last time.
Okay.
The last time that we were here, you and somebody else did that. I forget who the second person was.
Sky.
It was me. Okay.
Okay. And how far do we go?
To the edge of the clearing.
All right. Well, I guess I will.
Let me see if Ariana can get past the clearing, and if not, then once we get everything up, then we'll see if Rogar can do it. Because if nobody can, then I don't know if throwing it through a portal will work, or a gate will work, or whatever, but might not.
Well, you've got a point. So, yeah.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Well, I guess I'm going to walk back toward the village away from this clearing and see if I will still have these two magical items when I get there. So, I'll head that way.
You did say the items are in your bag of holding?
Well, yeah, I haven't actually written them in there, but I'm about to do that. I'm just having trouble remembering what the second one was. I've got the Amulet of Health.
Bracelet of enhanced ability. Um, Actually, as you walk outside the clearing, they disappear from your inventory, or from you. And Rogar, as you are down in the water, you watch as two pieces of jewelry suddenly appear and slowly sink down into the water.
Well, so much for that.
I pick up the extra two pieces of jewelry and come up with it. Grab a little more and come up. And I think I like this water. Jewels are appearing in it. Or jewelry is appearing in it.
Do sorry. Does he recognize the item?
Okay. I was not up when you guys were identifying or
Mm,
anything.
no, he probably wouldn't. But when he brings them up, you guys do. They were the items that you guys just looked at.
All right. I'll look over at Sky and ask if he wants to try.
I tried last time. It doesn't really make sense for me to try it again.
He did. I'll take them and start heading away.
Okay, as you get outside the clearing, they disappear from your hands. And if you're back in the water already, Rogar, they appear in the water and start to sink down to the bottom.
I would be because I was more dropping because I'm in the retrieving. I
Okay.
picked them up. And I was like, didn't I
Then,
just put these in here? Because I wouldn't recognize them as being the same, but I would recognize them as being the same type.
yeah,
I'll
you'd probably recognize them as the ones you literally just saw drop down in there.
Okay.
I'll say that yeah, they don't seem to want to leave this area when one of us carries them.
And he picks it up and he walks to the clearing. Does he make it past it?
I'm sorry, say again?
He goes, "What are you talking about?" And he picks it up and starts to walk towards the edging.
So you're picking stuff up and walking to the edge of the clearing?
But he just said that doesn't seem to walk to want to leave the area, and so you know, just because he doesn't understand the situation. So he's like, "Yeah, Diz, we can, this is part of the dragon's horde. We're taking the dragons with us. This will come with us." and so he walks to the clearing with it.
Okay. You have no idea what they're talking about. You don't seem to have a problem carrying anything outside the clearing.
I walk back, drop it on the pile. See, it worked just fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Jaws back in.
I'll nod and then just kind of sit and wait for him to be done.
Do you suppose that means that only Rogar can carry the eggs out?
It might.
Or a matter of race. Okay. So, now what?
Have I gotten everything from the bottom of the lake?
Sure, why not?
Once I get back up, I ask Ariana if she was able to find the gems that she needed for the portal that she was wanting to create.
Yes, we were able to.
And are we able to make the portal here by the lake, as it appears to be part of their where they were born, their history.
If everyone's ready, we can definitely try.
How long does this hold up?
Uh, the gate lasts for 1 minute.
And how long did it take us to bring all this stuff up from the bottom of the pond?
Couple hours.
Something's not adding up here.
I get your math there. Is there a way we can travel? Is there a way that we can collect this to take it with us, or do we just spend those couple hours for nothing and leave the money, leave the gold here?
Well, you seem to be the only one that can take it outside the clearing.
I do. Oh, okay.
So maybe we all take it to the edge of the clearing and you take it out of the clearing. And then maybe we can take it with us. But if we throw stuff through the gate, it might not go through, and we're going to have very minimal time to throw this stuff in and walk through ourselves.
he asked Guy to get on this invisible barrier that they say is there that I don't perceive being there.
It's right there. It's where the trees are.
I know. Would you get on the other side?
I'll go into the trees.
He picks up something and walks through the tree and hands it to Sky. What happens?
Okay, where are you when you do this?
On the opposite side of the invisible, they're where it keeps disappearing from. That they say, because I assume he walked a little he walked farther in than right there where it's supposed to be.
Okay, so you walked into the trees?
Yeah, I walked in the trees with the items, or with a couple pieces of gold and one of the necklace that appeared twice.
Well,
I walk
it's
in
all
there.
jewelry. It's not coins.
Okay, okay,
Just
the jewelry, a couple pieces of jewelry. I walk through walk into the forest, and then hand it to Sky. Does it disappear once it touches his hands?
no, it's fine.
See, no, there's no issue. What we can do is we can use, and the player hates saying this. The character will say it though. I have to ask if we can use your bag that'll hold everything to carry the items. Since it'll only be for a minute that you can go through the portal.
Who are you asking?
At the moment, I'm talking to Sky, but I'm turning back to talk to you and come to you. And then I come up to Lazum and I ask Lazum about his bag of holding, or he calls it the bag of holding everything. If he would mind uh, holding the until we get to the castle or the keep.
I don't have a problem with that. Do you want me to remove everything that's in the bag now?
He doesn't understand your bag of holding, so he just thinks it holds everything. So you'd have to explain that to him.
Well, it's just that uh, if I put the hoard or any portion of it into my bag of holding, it will be commingled with the other items that are in there. Now, I won't have any real problem separating them, but I guess as long as you want to carry it that way, that's fine. It's just that unless I empty my bag of holding, and
But
that means what do I do with it? Uh, how are we going to get our group possessions through?
And as there is no way to, he's looking at the lake, and he's looking at the eggs, and he's looking at the gold, and he says this out loud. Well, you say there's a natural magic that keeps the items from being stolen. So if that's the case, I didn't know that to begin with. and we really won't have enough time to transfer this to the keep. It's best if it stays here, and we take the eggs and come back when they're ready.
How how much room does all the stuff take up?
White. I mean, if I remember right, the bag of holding weighs 15 pounds, but I don't know how much it can carry and still be only 15 pounds.
And now I know
And of course, I just said all that with the mic muted. Damn it.
Yep.
yep.
Um. So I'm deliberately trying to um keep the amount of this horde fluid, because unless you guys decide you actually just want to sell it, I don't really want to settle on an exact number. Um, so I guess it should fit. Sure, why not?
I don't see us selling it.
Never know. Wouldn't be the first time that something strange happens in this campaign, or completely unexpected.
or or in any campaign.
Yeah. So, what are you guys doing?
I think we'll go with Sky's idea of bring it toward the edge of the clearing and have Rogar carry it over the edge.
Can I see something? I ask if I can carry the bag of holding for a moment. Basil, is it okay if I use the bag of holding for a moment?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay, he takes it from Lazem, puts a couple of items in it, and asks Lazem to walk on the other side of the portal, or the other side of this supposed opening.
Okay.
He already did that.
The difference is who's holding the bag. And I walk across the threshold with the bag of holding and the couple of gem or a couple of jewelry that I put into it, and I open it. Is the jewelry inside the bag of holding?
Yes, it is.
And so I walk back, and we can load it up here. We can create the portal here, and I'll walk with the portal through, or because it worked, and I say because it just worked me. As long as I'm carrying it past the whatever junction we have, doesn't matter if it's in the bag of holding or in my hands, it still stays with me until we get to the outside.
I'm not sure if that makes sense logically, but it's worth a try.
So he starts loading the bag of holding with all the items.
Did I just hear somebody poking holes in my logic?
Makes perfect sense to me. Who's in possession of the bag of holding? If I have possession of the gold I'm allowed to walk through, then the gold is still, or the jewelry is still in my possession.
Yeah, but you weren't the one making. Mm,
I know I'm not that. Nope, I'm not going to get me in trouble. I'm being good.
I was only questioning whether uh, Rogar is correct that he can go anywhere once he's outside this perimeter
oh, okay.
and still have it all together. But he thinks he can. I mean, I guess if once we go through the portal, if he still has items on the other side, it worked.
And if he doesn't, it's too late.
Yep. You'll have to go back.
We'll come back eventually, at least to the temple, so we can try again at that point if that's the case. If not, oh well.
Gold's still safe inside the lake. He's happy.
Thing that keeps haunting me is that we found dead fairy dragons with those eggs. And then the question is, how'd they get dead? And
They were killed by the Irvana ghost, or the girl. I can't think of her name.
The undead damn it.
Alaria.
Alaria.
Yes, her.
We
okay,
saw when that was that first day. That was the image we saw of her killing the fairies, and then we found the fairy eggs. And
okay, but now is that just your assumption, or did it actually happen that
It
way?
happened that way.
Okay,
Both me and him had visions from our deities.
okay. then I won't try to poke holes in it.
I spend the next couple of hours putting the. While I'm doing that, I've asked Ariana if she can start the. Uh, I don't know how long it takes for her to build the portal or not. So I figure we could be doing two things at once. If she's
It doesn't take any time.
okay. And once I have the bag filled with the gold or with the jewelry, I walk across the threshold and walk back. To see if it did anything to the gems inside the bag.
Well, if you're going to cross the threshold and then turn around and come right back, that doesn't give you an answer.
Talking about walk out, look in the whole bag of holding. Is the jewelry I put there still there? Yes. Okay. Then I come back and I
Oh,
look again. Is it still there?
okay, that's fine. It just seemed to me like there was a step missing.
White did did my test work to where my character would think that yes, this is a logical uh, assumption until it's proven false. And if you're answering, you're on mute again.
Yes, your test worked.
Okay. Then I let Ariana know I'm ready to, or we're ready if everybody else is ready. And are the dwarves with us?
Yes, the dwarves are watching this pile of jewelry grow, rubbing their hands together, almost drooling at it, while Aiden and Bryn are furiously writing in their notebooks and drawing sketches of as many pieces of jewelry as they can.
If I saw them, being greedy towards the gold, I'd sniff a few flames of fire at them. Mine
They're not
eggs.
they're not approaching, but doesn't mean they can't dream.
And then I will go. I will go into the water one more time, make sure that there was nothing else that was down there. Do one final inspection to see if whether something was in the dirt or whatever.
and give me an investigation check. Go do it with disadvantage considering you're swimming around underwater. And at this point, it's probably pretty murky because you're kicking up all the sediment at the bottom.
Ouch. Okay,
What'd you roll?
a 2.
No, I'm not actually looking at the screen.
For disadvantage. For advantage, I got 15, but for disadvantage, I got a 2.
Normal 15. Disadvantage 2.
Okay. Okay, well then. Nope, you don't find anything else.
I come back out, pray to my goddess, and get everything ready. Do a little bit of a shake, get the water off me a little bit. My clothes are wet, but I'm okay with that. And make sure I have the eggs.
I believe you have them wrapped up in your bags.
I know, that's what I said. I'm making sure I have everything ready.
As far as I know.
All right. Then I will. Make a prayer to Ayer and ask that we 10 of us get brought back to the master's house.
10?
Yeah,
4
Nice.
dwarves. Or
the
Four
2
dwarves and-
dwarves plus the 2 others, and then the 4 of us plus Damba plus. I just said a
Ozzy.
10th is Sky's.
Ozzy.
Oh yeah, that too.
My
10
unicorn's
is in
not
my
here at the moment, so
All right. So Osriel is the 10th one.
Okay.
the other 4 might be like
And
going 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 9, 9.
exactly.
the other guy's invisible, guys. He's been with us the entire time.
Let's take him out of the pack. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Run!
Yeah, that's why he stayed there. And roll a percentile dice.
Do
I have a
you
button for it here.
actually pull Osriel out?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Divine intervention. We get not low enough.
A 0?
You want to
Uh,
double check that ability?
why? I'm not level 20 cleric.
Oh, never mind. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
A 0 is 100, Kenny. On a percentile dice.
No, 0 just means it rolled more than 17.
Oh, I see. I'm not actually looking at the screen, so. You've got it set up in a true or false situation.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you pray to air, and unfortunately your prayer does not get answered.
All right. Then I will just kind of shrug and say, I guess it's time for the second version. And I will spend a minute and cast Conjure Celestial at 9th level.
Conjure Celestial? Okay.
And conjure a Hollyfet if I am able.
You can certainly try. Um, how many other options are available at that level? Do you happen to know?
Uh, Depends on how many different books you want to look through.
Um,
There's the Unicorn and the Monster Manual, the Hollyphant. There's 2 things in Ravnica and 2 in uh, um, the newest Astral Menagerie.
yeah, I got them all. So, roll me a d20 with advantage.
20.
You got a nat 20?
Yeah,
Okay, then a Holophone appears.
perfect.
Which is a tiny size creature, is that right?
Small.
Small size creature. Okay,
Okay.
this creature shows up. It's about the size of Iriana, and it looks like a purple elephant with angel wings and tusks.
I will bow before it and ask if it would be able to get. I can do itself plus 8 people with the teleport spell. I could get everyone except myself back to the master's house.
He whispers to Sky, "How are we going to get him back or her back?"
He's got away.
Um, the Holophant kind of eyes you as you You bow, and then as you make your request, it um, rears back on its hind legs and shoots its um, trunk up into the air and trumpets out a um, an agreement, I guess. And then um, starts to dig at the ground with its tusks. And a couple moments later, it um, kind of moves in a little circle and then stomps several times, and all your friends disappear. Um,
All right.
let's see. Everyone except Iriana, roll me a d20
What are the d20s for?
for my fun.
8.
8.
Lazen?
12.
Lazen, roll me another one for Damba.
6. So the average is 8.
Um, okay. Um, Lazen, you appear back at the master's house. There's a. Let's start over. As you guys are watching this creature do this little dance, or ritual, or whatever you want to call it, there's a bright flash, and your vision kind of starts to blur, and your breath is sucked out of your lungs, and you guys are having trouble catching your breath. There's it just seems like there's no oxygen around you, and it goes on for several moments. It gets to the point where you're actually start to worry. You actually start to worry that you're gonna suffocate. And just when just as you start to panic, there's another bright flash. And Latham, um, as you appear, you actually appear in midair. And as the magic releases you, you fall onto your back, directly onto the um, mess hall table. Um, just as they're starting to set it for a meal, you just appear out of nowhere and drop onto the table. And you kind of sit up, start looking around, and all you can see is a bunch of students looking at you, shocked and amazed. Um, Rogar and Sky, um, you Sky, you appear suddenly in Travis's office, and you fall out of, you fall like 2 feet out of midair, drop into a soft, cushy chair, and immediately right after, Rogar falls right on top of you, which is
As I'm
typical.
falling, I would protect the satchel or
Eggs. Um, which of course, Rogar falling on top of you would not feel so great. And of course, Travis is staring at you, completely shocked that you're just appearing out of nowhere like that. Um, and Lazen, the next thing you hear is a scream, and a scream from the kitchen, and you see Damba come charging out of the kitchen with a giant steak in his mouth, with several students chasing after him. And he just jumps up onto the table next to you, sits down, starts gnawing at the steak.
he growls at the students.
No, he doesn't. Damba wouldn't growl at the students. Not unless he felt like not unless he felt like Lazen was in danger.
Yeah, well, I look at the students and I say, well, you might as well give it up. You're not getting that back. About that time, Damba just gulps the last bit of the steak.
It's gone. Oh, Sky is right. You have 4 guests as well. Okay, you have, and just as the 3 students come rushing out of um, the kitchen chasing Damba, Bryn comes stumbling after, looking around confused, out of the kitchen. Um, Also, as Sky and Rogar, as you guys land and are looking around, kind of taking in location, you hear there's a closet across the hall from Travis's room, or office. You hear a loud clatter in there, and suddenly the door bursts open, and a very angry dwarf comes out swinging his axe. Buckets and cleaning supplies flying everywhere. And the other 2, nobody hears it, but Aiden and Bean land in a room upstairs. Oh, um, shortly after you guys are starting to reconvene, regather yourselves in the main room, as Sorsha is marching Aiden and Bean down the hall and down the stairs into the front room. She's holding them both by their necks. The backs of their necks. Escorting them out of her room as they landed in her room uninvited. She kind of
Hey,
looks.
Sorsha.
What's that?
You say Sorsha?
Yeah.
How's the look on their face?
And is she clothed, unclothed, or what?
She's wearing a robe, and they are both looking thoroughly chastised.
I have her mirror.
Thoroughly chastised and afraid of the drow, yes. Basically, looks like Bean lost a fight with her, and Aiden is just more embarrassed than anything else because he just busted in on a woman, and he's like a bookworm type of guy.
And then a couple minutes later, I will come in the front door.
Yeah, so she'll just kind of look around at everyone, be like, "Do these two belong to you?"
They came with us.
And as I come in and see, do I come in early enough to hear that, or did you get down before me?
Yeah, you hear it.
All right, I will say that I am sorry. I should have given more specific instructions. I thought it would take the best possible guess and get everyone in the same place. And then I will go look for the Holophant.
Oh, was this supposed to come with?
Well, it's the teleport spell, so it teleports itself plus 8 others.
Oh. Um. It is currently fluttering in the main hall above the table, just kind of watching as everyone seems to converge on this location. Just like fluttering up in the air, like 20 feet in the air, just watching.
All right, I will bow before it and thank it for the help, and then sorry, just checking the spell here. Yeah, thank it for its help, and then smile at it and dismiss the spell.
Okay. As you dismiss it, it kind of spins down into a little ball of light. It does like a kind of spins around real quick and then just disappears with a pop.
And then I'll turn to Bryn, Aiden, Biddlebean, and sorry, I did not think it would go quite that way. I thought you guys would all arrive nicely, maybe near the teleportation circle or somewhere. But we seem to be off this island here, or off the island. And I'm sure Sorsha or someone here can help assist you guys to get home.
I'll look around and go, what year is it? What day is it?
What day is it?
How long have we been gone?
Yeah, I'll ask Allison how long it's been since the last sending message to her.
It's just been a couple of minutes. I mean, you couldn't have gone any further than the front yard.
I will smile and nod.
I will ask her to state the date as I look at the four, not interlopers, but the four guests.
You want to crush?
You don't have to say it. You can just say she says it, and their eyes go wide, type of thing.
Well,
So you don't have to remember what you gave beforehand or anything.
they already know the dates are all screwy.
But that's from us, and they still don't believe us.
No,
But this is from an outside, you know, source. That's why
they believe you now. They came around to it. Took Bryn a while, but they came around to it. She tells you the date. I'm gonna retcon that because you would have actually had to travel from here to Havenport and then from Havenport to the island.
Yeah, but I sent a sending while we were on the island.
Yeah, so
Or
that
hey, we were on an island that had different time zones, so we actually may have went back in time from the island. You know.
so the sending that you sent was just a few moments ago. Last sending you sent was just a few moments ago.
I will nod at that.
I'll rub my temples, trying to comprehend.
This is your keep for the master's house. I ask, where's a good place to create a sanctuary for the eggs?
By the way, Allison, we brought some other guests too.
She looks around and says, "More the merrier." And she turns and looks at a couple of kids, says, "Get more plates." And then she walks up and she shoos down off the table and just kind of lays them a dirty look for sitting on the table. But yeah. Travis, who is still standing at his office door watching everything, and Allison, who is already busy at work trying to get her meal schedule back on schedule. Turns and looks at Irion and the group, says, "You'll have to ask them where they want a refuge. We just take care of the place. They run it."
I'll ask Sorsha if there is somewhere that we could keep a few large eggs.
Not for food.
Damba comes up next to you and sits next to you, looking up at you hopefully. Saoirse will reply and say, "Do they have any specific needs, such as warmth or cold? Anything
Preferably heated, or think a wine cellar with a little bit of sunlight if possible. For wine cellar for the temp and sunlight, and there will also be the nest I will create myself once we have the room.
So, cool, dry, damp, with sunlight?"
You read what I say really well.
Guy's just gonna shrug his shoulders and go. I'm used to killing these things, not raising them. Hopefully he knows what he's talking about. Just didn't seem right with eggs with parents that weren't there.
Well, could be a couple of options, I suppose. Um, if Sky is willing to share his shrine to Miliki, then
I think she would be okay with that.
possibly the soil around one of the trees in the shrine to Miliki. You could also put them down in the um, one of the cellars here. You may have to clear it out first. Alaria used to use it to, it's kind of a final test to young students, and have them face off against a group of giant rats in the cellar. So you probably have to kill them all first, or maybe send some of the students down there to kill them. But other than that, it doesn't get sunlight all day, but it should be um, cool, damp, and dark, or whatever the other requirements were. Um, it'll get sunlight part of the day at least, though. Um, those are the two options I can think of off the top of my head. I think the Shrine of Maliki would probably be the better of the better choice of the two, as the creatures that you're trying to take care of may grow to be blessed by Maliki.
He accepts it, and he looks to Sky to point the way.
I will take you out there.
Once he gets there, he'll create a nest like there was above on the in the tree or the stand,
Mm-hmm.
and then he will pray to his goddess as he starts to underneath the stand. He builds he unloads the bag of holding, and praying to his goddess to create the same protection as she did with the lake. As
Okay.
she directed me to this keep and has pointed me in this direction, he trusts where he's putting it.
Okay. Give me a religion check. And Sky, did you go with him?
Yes, I took him there.
Okay. Did you want to add anything to this?
Yes, as he starts doing whatever he's doing with the nest and stuff, I'll bow in front of the shrine and pray to Maliki and kneel down and um, say in Sylvan, I hope you are okay with this. I did not feel like leaving them would have been a good thing, and this may have the best requirements or best environment for their growth to share your shrine with them. Um,
Okay. Give me a religion check as well, Sky. Okay. Um. Give me a second here. Okay. Rogar, as you pour the um contents of the hoard out onto the ground, uh, first of all, does somebody keep the necklace and the bracelet, or are those in the hoard still?
At the present moment, they're still in the the horde. However, as I'm praying, I ask for guidance in, since my party was nice enough to get us here safely, could I give them the items that they were trying to walk out of the jungle with?
That was very elegantly put.
They were trying to steal them, but can they have them anyway?
I would not assume they were stealing them. Remember, she told me to go with these people.
It's just the way that you said it. It
Yeah.
sounded very. It sounded very. Hey, so these guys were trying to take this stuff, and well, since they helped get these guys here, can they steal it anyways?
We understand though, Kenny. Um, as you pour the hoard out onto the ground beneath the nest that you created, you watch as vines rise up from the earth. Um, and these aren't your typical vines. They're what you would expect from a vine, but they have a almost a bronze colored scaling to them. Um, which is a little unusual for vines, but these vines come up out of the earth and slowly wrap itself around the different pieces of jewelry and such, and slowly pull it down into the earth, um, piece by piece. And you watch as each individual piece of jewelry slowly sinks down into the earth, and the nest slowly moves and lowers right on top of it. And then you watch again as these vines kind of curl up around the edge of the nest and slowly form up into a dome over the top of your nest. And then as the vines stop moving, there's a kind of um, a copper or bronze colored pulse of energy, and the the the, the metallic coloration of the vines slowly fades away, leaving basically just a vine shell over top of this your nest, and the bronze coloration kind of just slowly fades down the nest and sinks into the earth beneath it. And as you look down at your feet, there is a bracelet and a necklace laying at your feet. So you can have them if you want them.
I will pick it up and pat the dome and tell it to rest well and grow strong. I'll pick up the piece of jewelry and smile at Sky and say thank you. And I'll even thank his deity for allowing us to have the space as well. And then I'll follow him out when he's ready to go. But I'll keep hold of it until we get back to the other group. And once we're back to the group, I'll say, um, one moment.
As you guys are leaving the shrine, um, there's a stiff breeze that kind of blows through the area, and there are several leaves that are picked up in it, and the breeze blows around first Sky and then Rogar, and then just kind of up into the air and dissipates.
He'll tell Rogar that Maliki approves.
He smiles. And as we return to the party, I let them know that this is a gift from Astelavar, and presents the two pieces of jewelry, the amulet and the necklace.
Bracelet.
Or bracelet, sorry.
Should be the amulet of health and the bracelet of enhanced ability.
At that time, since I emptied it, I returned the bag of holding delays. I was getting there, Sky.
At this point, has Rogar seen you in your natural drow form, Sky?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he saw me in my natural draft form when the Master House fight.
Okay.
Rogar has no prejudice to other species.
Except gold dragons. And gold dragonborns.
That's not a prejudice towards a species. That's just a prejudice towards a scourge.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying they aren't a species?
They don't the right.
Wow.
They don't deserve the right to be called a species. They're just.
He's not prejudiced against them because he's so racist against them that they don't count.
I see. Is that how it works?
Apparently.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not saying that, but yeah, pretty much.
I do know some good old boys that are that bad. They don't consider themselves racist because, as far as they're concerned, people of different ethnic backgrounds don't count as human. Therefore, they're not racist. But we don't need to be getting in that topic. That was my bad for bringing it up. I apologize.
They earned it. They treated him badly. That's all there needs to be said.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so eggs have been taken care of. You're now back at the master's house. sitting down to eat because Allison insists. Um, while you guys are eating, what do you guys want to chat about?
Since we are in the uh, not process, what is the word I'm trying to say about um, you have guests, mixed company.
Mm.
Since we are in the of mixed company, and I can't think of the word because my brain won't allow me. Um, he saves some of the comments that he may have and discusses with them what they're planning to do next.
Well, Bryn kind of. They all kind of look at each other blankly for a few moments. Not really sure how to answer that. And um, after another moment or two, Bryn speaks up and says, um, so I was just trying to think of how the dwarves would have reacted to seeing Sky as a drow. I think Sky and Bryn probably would have reacted badly to that. But then they had already seen Sorsha as a drow, so.
And Sable's probably sitting at the table as well.
Oh yeah, Sable too. Damn. I put a lot of drow into my game, didn't I? Yeah, they're all kind of looking around a little awkwardly, anxiously. But Bryn will say, I'm not really sure that any of us have thought about that. I guess the first order of business should be to get home, see if our families are alive, are present, see what they believe happened to us, and as she's saying this, her the expression on her face kind of goes blank, and um, and in her body just kind of goes slack, and she slides off her chair, um, to the side, just kind of slides off the chair, and she's very quickly followed by the other three. As all three of them slide out of their chairs, and they seem to be limp, a little more than ragdolls.
Out of character, but in character, out of character information, character knowledge. Are any of them from the areas that I'm from,
No.
that I have contact with?
Contact with?
You know, I had the scroll that I can contact Yet that I've yet to get any word back of what I'm supposed to be doing.
Sending stones.
No, they are not related to your guild.
Not related to. I just say is it it's like, hey, I have the ability to send word towards your area. Would you like me to, type of thing? Not that they're related to, but
Well,
for a fee, we can get your information.
all four of them have literally just gone unconscious and have fallen out of their chairs. So they're probably not too worried about that at the moment.
I will immediately try and see to Bryn. Try and figure out what's going on.
I will head over to Aiden.
Okay. Um, as the two of you reach them, they um, they're moving slowly, um, but they don't seem to be cognizant. I mean, they're kind of moving on an instinctual level. It's not like they actually, kind of like a vegetable. They're not really um, responding, to verbal clues or audio stimulus. But they are like, you know, moving their hands or their arms and trying to kick away from the table and that kind of fun stuff. You're laughing at that? That is cruel.
Real life Kenny has just fallen to chaotic evil.
No joke. I'm demanding a alignment change for that dude.
You should know me by now.
Okay. So that's what you see when you run up to them, Sky and Iriana.
I'll be right back.
Is it like Kenny said, and they seem to be aging?
Um, no, they don't seem to be getting older.
I will try to do what I can to stabilize Aiden here, and then head over to check on Biddle and Bean and get the students to help me bring them over toward the infirmary area.
I just gotta say, I find saying their names to be fun. I think it's
Definitely.
fun to say Biddle and Bean. But when I hear other people say it, it's even more fun. I don't know why.
Every time I hear you say Bean, I think of Mr. Bean.
um,
While they're trying to help them,
yes.
I'm going to cast this and then try to help as well, but just to make sure.
Divine sense. Okay,
Only because we've dealt with we're transported here, but we've also been dealing with a bunch of undead lately. So, seeing if it could be their reaction could be more than just a mental breakdown.
you are receiving a faint undead aura from Iriana and a faint celestial aura from Sky.
And from the other one,
Other one?
didn't he say there's two drow in the room?
Yeah, but
3.
there's actually three if you include Sky. But Sky's the only one that is pinging celestial.
Okay.
Um, Something you've actually never run across before, though, is you're getting a strange aura from Swarsha. It's actually not so much an aura; it's more a lack of an aura. It's like a void. It's like, I mean, everyone's got some sort of aura, you know, kind of a measurement of their good versus evil. Um, Most people aren't powerful enough to register as on this ability, one way or the other. But you can still see their aura. You've never seen a person who didn't have any aura. And that's a new one to you.
Take
However,
that into account and discuss it with the party later to see if they can explain it.
okay. Um, Other than that, you're not seeing anything you weren't expecting. Because you've seen the Celestial from Sky and the Undead from Iriana before.
Then I will give medical help as best as possible.
Okay. Um, Iriana, at your direction, the students quickly help to um, carry the four of them over to um, some oversized chairs and couches off in the um, off to the side.
All right.
Oh, um, actually, let's go ahead and take a quick break. Let everyone go use the restroom because I hate for people to miss RP and stuff because they have to go take a break. So, go get your drinks, use the restroom, stretch, let the animals out. I don't know, whatever you need to do. And we'll return shortly. You still there, Sky?
Sure.
Thank you. Um, Biddle and Bean are actually um modeled, I guess, after my memory of the Boulder Shoulder brothers from
Wrist.
yes, the cleric. Was it cleric quintuplet or something like that?
Yep.
I loved that series.
Michael the nutcase.
That's cool. You base your characters off of things you remember as a kid.
How old of a kid were you when you read the Cleric Quintet?
Just a second.
I've never read it, so I wouldn't.
I was a 34-year-old kid.
$34, yeah.
Yep, I think. Maybe 33. Either 33 or 34.
Um, honestly, I'm not sure what when I read it. I was It was a long time ago though. Like I was like in my 20s or something like that. I think. I mean, I want to say it was before I moved out. But I could totally be saying that wrong because that was like I moved out in 2004 and I have no idea when the book was published. So obviously, if it was published after that, then it couldn't have been before I moved out. But
As we come to the end of the session,
I did say all that onto the mic, right?
Yep.
Before you moved out, that was the last thing you said.
Okay.
But if you just said something, no. But anything before that, yes.
Okay, that sounds good. That was all I said. Just, yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up.
I will say it does feel good to have clothes that are not wrinkled and actually put up for once.
My clothes feel just as good wrinkled as they do hung.
I agree, you're right, up to the point where you have to wear them to work. And
I
you're
wear them to work every day.
okay. Do you wear button up or do you wear pullovers?
Uh, polos.
Yeah, all mine are button up, nice clothes that look like they're wrinkled and don't work too well.
Okay, I think my dad's on his way back now. See, it was the Boulder Shoulder brothers were what? Pickle and the other one started with a B.
I could be really mean until and I can't think of names. Sorry. Hey, just think how much money you've made depending on how you're being paid.
Ivan was his brother,
Ivan, yes.
and looks like the books came out in the early '90s.
You'd only been in your tens and 12s by then. Jeff?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that's what he read them, though.
Yeah, I didn't read them until my nephew brought it to me. My nephew showed it to me because he got it as a gift or something like that. And he was all excited about it because, you know, it was a really cool book. And at the time, I didn't know it had anything to do with the Dritz saga. I didn't even know anything about the Dritz saga, really. I mean, I knew the name, but that was about it. And um, I remember it was just sitting on the shelf because he had left it here. So I picked it up and just kind of read a page or two in the middle of the book. I was like, oh, well, that was interesting enough. So I flipped to the beginning, started reading it. I didn't put it down for 3 days. I mean, I literally did not sleep until I finished that book. And it's actually like 5 books in one. But anyway, I believe we're all back.
Think so, yeah.
Yeepers.
Should all be back at the master's house. On the map, that is.
I still have the global map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose I could ping it for you.
No, I was just expecting that the way you said that, I'd see the other characters, not just the dot. That's why I said it.
Okay. Okay, so your 4 allies or 4 guests have collapsed. Um, with at Iriana's direction, a bunch of students pulled them over to some couches and oversized chairs where they're laid out and more comfortable than on the floor. Um, was there anything else you wanted to do, Ariana?
Not specifically. I'll just tend to them for the next little while. See if they get any better.
Can I do a medicine check to see if it is just, shock?
Yeah, go for it.
I will assist.
Okay, so rolls with advantage. Okay, 12. Um,
Actually, that's a roll, right?
yeah.
No, that doesn't come. That doesn't come into play. Never mind. I'm around Ariana, and she has that skill of you get
Oh,
additional. So I'm like, does
bless.
that count there?
Um, no, not with skills. Bless affects attacks or saving throws. Guidance affects skills. Um, you're not seeing any indication of what could be causing um, this effect on them. There doesn't seem to be any outward symptoms, like rashes or welts or wounds or anything like that 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 might cause whatever's going on here.
I was seeing if I could determine if it was stress related, but
Oh,
I,
maybe it's a little unusual for a stress-related um, affliction to strike four people at the same time, especially four people of varying constitutions and um, differing cultures.
yeah,
But it's
I
possible.
tell I look at my party and say I don't know if it's stress related or not, but it's be highly unlikely. But I don't see other forms of cause that would create this type of environment with four different individuals.
Are you having trouble hearing us again, Dad?
I was until I went and changed it. For some reason, I have been moved to the whatever it is, uh, AFK types or whatever.
Oh, yeah, you probably got moved down there during.
What?
You probably got moved down there during the break because you hadn't
Yeah,
spoken for a while.
yeah, okay. Well, whatever. I figured it out and I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, kind of just thought you were ignoring me to start with, but then I realized that I can hear music, but I don't hear voices.
Oops.
Oh well.
Okay, so sorry. Can you say it again, Kenny?
I leaned down and looked at the bodies, see if there was any stress. And as I'm looking at it, it doesn't appear to be stress, but it could be. But I've never seen it affect different races and different individuals all at the same exact second. And I also don't see any, you know, signs of injection or contact like warts or a rash or anything on the bodies. So I'm not sure what's causing this.
Um, and they all just kind of fell over, like fainted at the same time.
I'd call it more like seizures the way he described it.
Yeah, it's kind of like if they didn't quite faint. They just kind of got a thousand-yard stare and just kind of slid out of their chairs. And then they were still able to move their hands and legs and do things. But it's kind of like they weren't really there mentally. Does that make sense?
If you know anything about it, petite mal is what I'd think about it. I'm an epileptic. It's the only reason I know.
Mm, you could describe it that way. Yeah, it's not really what I was going for, but I mean, if that's the way you want to see it, I won't argue.
I will tend to them for half an hour or so, see if they get any better, or see if they change at all.
Okay. Um. Well, Rogar and Iriana are examining them. Sky and Latham, what are you doing?
Mostly, I'm just sitting there wondering what happened.
Oh, checking out Bren, because that's what I had initially done.
Okay.
It's not an everyday occurrence for me to see uh, individuals just kind of melt out of their chairs onto the floor.
App description. Um.
I'll try using lay on hands 5 points and see if some sort of malady gets Bren back on her feet.
Okay.
Beat me to it.
Just for fun, where do you lay your hand? I mean, just
Probably like on her neck, shoulder area,
okay. Um.
or there'd be bare skin.
Okay, so you lay your hand on her neck or shoulder, whatever, and you can feel the energy, the warmth of the magic leave your hand and go into her. And at first, it's working exactly as you expect. You can see the greenish glow of the magical energy wash over her body. And then something you weren't really expecting is as it encompasses her for a moment. You expect it to fade like it usually does. But instead, it comes back. It comes back. It's almost like it drains out of her and then right back into your hand. And the energy you tried to put into the magic was not expended.
I know of any poison that would have this effect.
Um, Give me a history check with advantage. Oh wait, you're a poisoner. Give me a poisoner's kit check with advantage.
And you tell us what happened.
Just a second.
Um, which query would you like?
Um, Intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. I'll let you pick. Okay. Um, as a drow, you know that the drow have a great many poisons to do a great many things. Um, Everything from poisons intended for simple pranks to poisons that kill instantly, and just about everything in between. You've never seen a poison that wasn't able to be cured by this kind of divine magic. Actually, that's not true. Give me a second. Okay, there are a couple poisons you know of that wouldn't be cured by this kind of divine magic, but none that would have had the same effect. Had the effect of,
Returning the magic.
yeah, thank you. Um, yeah.
Then I will quietly leave Bryn's side and go out to the shrine and seek a better answer.
As he does that, I will try my own greater restoration.
Okay. Um, just double checking you have the diamond dust for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, you lay your hand. Who are you doing this? Doing this to?
I'll do it on Aiden.
Okay. You lay your hand on Aiden, and you say your prayer to air. Um, After a moment, you feel um, the familiar sensation of and warmth of the power building in your hand and spreading out across Aiden's body. Um, as it does, his form glows for just a moment, and just when you feel like it's about to take effect, you too are surprised as the glow slowly um, retreats from his form right back into your hand, and again, the energy for the spell is not expended. Strangely enough, neither is the diamond dust.
I'm gonna try something. Don't know if it'll work, but because I don't know about the drug, I don't know what's maybe could be going on, so I attempt this.
Okay. That what was that fighting style busted warrior? Is that
Yep.
something I need to be reading?
Just means you get cantrips.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I'm laying down and not really close enough to the screen to read it all. Um, Spare the dying. Um, Again, you cast the spell. You feel the energy leave your hand, but they're not unconscious in that way, and it spell doesn't seem to have anything to grasp onto.
The second question I have is once it rebounds back into me, and I'm almost slightly startled. I look at what they ate compared to, was it the same thing we ate?
Yes, same food you guys ate.
Then yeah, I look around. Are there any signs of? I know there's no signs. Oh no, you already said that. Because of their actions, I check their inventory to see if anything could cause this.
Okay. Um, so you just start looking through their stuff.
I put their bags beside them so there's no, hey, I went, but I start, yes. I check one bag and then I check another and then I check another to see if there's anything that the four of them had that are the same that could cause this. Because we've been with them most of the time and there hasn't been any, you know, I haven't seen anything that can cause this as an outside source.
Um, the majority of their equipment is pretty much identical. Like it was probably purchased all at the same location at the same time. Um, for instance, they're all carrying the same water skins, same type of pack, same kind of bread roll, same mess kits, same all that stuff. Aiden and Bryn's bags are full of notebooks. Um, as a matter of fact, other than the absolute basics of survival gear, that's all that's in their bags is notebooks. Notebook after notebook after notebook. Um, as far as you can tell, they've each filled upwards of 20 notebooks full of notes and drawings and you know samples. With like one page might have a twig stuck in there. One page might have a leaf. One page might have the remains of a squashed bug. There's all sorts of samples and drawings and just the kind of thing you expect from a field researcher's notebook. And they each have upwards of 20 completely filled in. and probably just as many empty blank ones waiting to be filled. Biddle and Bean are carrying some of the other survival supplies like tents and um, rations and weapons. Uh, they are consummate survivalists. They know what it takes to keep their party alive, and they take care of things. Um, Again, that's what they're hired for. They are security and essentially guides. Um, there's not really anything specifically in the bags that might point towards any kind of shared poisoning or intoxication or ailment.
After I check the bags and I don't see anything that could cause it, I keep the rations I keep out. The water jugs I keep out.
Okay, so
But
you just leave the rations out by the bag?
yeah, because I'm not a poisoner, so I'm leaving that. I'm leaving the two things that I know for a fact could possibly contain a poison, just because of my previous experience or previous history. But other than that, I don't know. I don't see anything that could cause it that would scream, okay, this is it. I do jot down what I found in there on a piece of paper, just so that I can show, uh, you know, discuss it with others. But I put everything back in except for those two things.
Okay, and what do you do with those two things?
Those I leave to the side until Sky comes back.
Okay.
It's still out. It's so that people can see it. But it's like, okay, I let everybody don't eat that. Wait, we'll wait, or don't do anything with that. We'll wait until Sky gets back, so he can look it over.
Okay, and do you do anything else?
I don't have anything else I can do. There's no spell that, hey, can I detect to see if there's anything wrong with these guys, or they've been affiliated with a spell, or since I'm not anything like that. So
Okay. Um, as you go about trying to um, determine what is wrong with these four, at some point you kind of look back. Dom is eating the rations.
Sounds about right.
They're about half gone, and if you don't do something quick, there's not gonna be anything left.
I scream at Lazem to tell to get Zama to stop eating. There's Zama's not going to listen to me.
You're screaming at Lazem to call off the pup, huh?
Yeah, because the pup ain't going to listen to me. I mean, I can breathe fire at him, but then it's just causing a fight.
Lazem. Lazem. Can you not hear us?
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Remember to push the button.
Yeah, I know. I pushed the wrong one.
Um,
Doesn't work that way.
not so much. So,
Mm-hmm.
are you gonna call Dumba off?
Yeah. Come here, Dumba.
He reluctantly picks up a couple of the last rations and walks back over to you, munching on them. There's still a
Yeah.
couple left.
You leave them alone. Just come sit with me.
Hopefully it isn't food or drink, or is Damba being just as much issue, but I figured I would check.
There's still a couple more over there. He ate,
Yeah, but
like,
nothing's happened to Damba at the present moment, so.
not at the moment. He ate like 3/4 of them.
Did he eat enough to get a bellyache?
Probably not.
Okay.
It's a big dog.
Yeah.
He might be coughing up some, or throwing out some paper later, but you know. We'll see. Sky. Just a second here.
Waits for Sky to come back.
Okay, Sky. As you...
Meow.
Woof, woof. Um, as you return to the shrine, seeing the newly added nest at the base of the tree, you kneel before the small shrine, saying your prayers to Maliki. And you kneel there for what feels um, what feels like a painfully long time. Um, and once you felt like you're certain you're not going to get a response from Miliki, you stand feeling a little disheartened, but you stand and you return um, to the main hall with the rest of them, or with the rest of your party. And as you enter, um, things aren't quite right. You see Lazem, he's not really, doesn't really seem to be concerned about what's going on. He's just kind of sitting on the corner of the table, strumming his lute, or his mandolin, um, kind of humming a song. And Damba is just kind of running around playing with some of the kids, some of the students. Um, his growls and playful yaps are kind of echoing off the high ceilings. Um, you see Ariana sitting and talking to um, she's sitting on the floor in front of the couch that um, Aiden is laying on. And she's talking to a raven-haired girl you haven't seen for quite some time. Crystallini is sitting there, just chatting with Iriana. Um, Rogar is in the corner, um, running his hands through what appears to be the jewels and jewelry from the Horde, as 4 infant fairy dragons fly circles around his head. And Sorsha is sitting at the end of the table with her arms crossed, just watching. And she's got this almost impalpable aura about her. Uh, Basically, a don't fuck with me aura. You know, the stay back, I'm not in the mood kind of aura. And as you look around at um, the 4 scholars, well, the 2 scholars and their guards, laying on the couches, um, Aiden stands up. Just suddenly stands up. And he looks at you and says, "We don't belong here." We don't belong here.
Aloud, I will say, how do I get you back?
takes a couple of wobbly steps towards you in your direction. And he kind of stumbles a bit, grabbing onto the front of your armor to steady himself. And he pulls himself up as close to you as he can. And he looks you in the face and just shouts at you. We don't belong here. And he collapses in your arms. And slowly fades away. With that, Biddle and Bean both wake up. Both of them stand and pick up their weapons. They start to move towards you aggressively. And in unison they say, we don't belong here.
And again, I will say aloud, I want to help. How do I get you back?
Neither one of them move. They stand there, holding their weapons up to you, as if deciding whether or not to strike. When you hear from behind you Sorsha's voice. Okay, I keep hearing beeping. What am I hearing beeping about?
Your car posted a picture in Discord about him printing himself.
Oh, okay. You hear Sorsha's voice as she says, she kind of speaks up, pushing herself away from the table. She says, they're not from our time. How would you get them better? How would you get them back to their time? How can you get them back to their time?
This is beyond my expertise. I don't know of magic that could do that.
At this point, both the dwarves shout out, we don't belong here, and they both charge at you, swinging their weapons. The axe coming in high from overhead as the warhammer swings in low, attempting to shatter your knees. gonna do anything?
Nope.
You're gonna let him hit you?
I feel like this has got to be a test.
Okay. Um.
And if I'm of sound mind, I would know that there's no possible way in my mind that the fairy dragons could have hatched this soon.
Not to
So,
mention everything else you've seen in here.
yeah.
Um.
It's always the dragons though that fish.
There's that, and there's a lot of stuff, but definitely the dragons like flying around. Like I walked in, they were sitting there in the vines, and then I walked into the house, and they're flying around your head.
Okay. You feel the warhammer smash into your knee. Um. The searing pain as your knee breaks, causing you to fall. And matched only by the searing pain of the axe slicing down into your shoulder. Um, at this point, both of them have their weapons in front of you. And again, in unison, they say, "We told you we do not belong here."
I'll grimacingly shout out, I took an oath. I will not fight you as you are not wicked.
As you say this, they both fade away. At which point, Bryn stands and approaches you. She reaches down, and as she touches you, your wounds knit over and heal. And then she kneels down in front of you and lays her head on your shoulder. And she just kind of buries herself against you and says, in a very quiet voice, you can almost hear the tears in her voice as she says, "We don't belong here."
I wish you could stay.
And she starts to weep.
I wish you could stay, but you do. You too need to go.
And she too disappears. Sorsha steps up next to you, pulls you to your feet. What do you think that was all about?
Whatever happened on that island, the timelines, they shouldn't have been here. Maybe we shouldn't have brought them back. But I couldn't just leave them. We couldn't just leave them. That's not who we are. We can't try and protect this world. We can't be a force for good. We can't rid the evil if we just leave people that were in the wrong place at the wrong time to fend for themselves. I can't shelter the light if I do so.
Think about it, Sky. If the island if the issues at the island have been resolved, why then are they suffering?
Possibly because we intervened. There's many possibilities. We intervened and we shouldn't have. We brought them here and we shouldn't have.
She looks at you. She steps in front of you and looks at you, placing her hands on your shoulders, looking you deep in the eyes, and says, if the evil on the island was eliminated, why do they still suffer?
You can't tell me that they were evil. They did not. They had life and laughter and love. They had to have been in the wrong place. They unless it was her. Unless she used us or used them against us.
Sorsha just calmly pats you on the chest, turns and walks away, starts to walk away. As she gets to the entrance to the hall, she looks back and says, if the evil was eliminated, why do they still suffer? And as she says this, you awaken with those words echoing in your mind. You are laying on the floor in the shrine. You are covered in sweat. And it has been at least 2 hours since you knelt to pray. And every muscle in your body is sore, especially your knee and your shoulder.
I'll say thank you, my lady, and then head towards the house. Slowly, in pain.
Okay. As for everyone else, um, Sky's been gone a while. You may or may not have noticed. Um, the 4 scholars, or well, 2 scholars in security, are not moving. Essentially unconscious. Basically in a coma at this point, though your characters probably don't really know what a coma is. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna go find Sky because I was waiting for him to return, but I first moved the food and the drink to a table.
Away from Damba. Gotcha.
I will have just been tending to that.
Okay.
But my only problem is once I walk outside, I don't know where he went. So it'll be a hunt and peck.
That's a good point. Um, Allison aids you with um, either fetching herself or sending a student to fetch anything you request, Ariana.
All right.
Um, a couple of the other teachers, including Sable and um, Shepard, go with you to look for Sky Rogar, if you'll accept their assistance.
Of course I will. They know more about this place than I do.
Okay. Liaison, what are you doing?
I'm sitting here on the corner of the table, strumming my mandolin and trying to ponder what's been going on here today.
Okay.
And I have no answers.
Okay. Um, then Sable. I don't know. Who do you think knows you better? Sky, Sable, or Shepard?
Probably Sable, just because I spent a lot of time working with him on sharpshooter stuff.
Okay, then Sable would probably suggest to you to try the Shrine of Maliki, as he would probably know that Sky would visit there on the regular.
And once I get there, I walk gradually up to him to see if he's okay, or she's okay, and
He,
you
um, as you approach the shrine, you see Sky coming out, and he's limping and moving like he's very sore, like someone who doesn't exercise after the first night at a gym. You know, the morning after kind of thing.
know. Oh, so what I look like for the last week? Gotcha.
Yeah, you know the feeling. That's what he's kind of looking like right now. He's not quite standing up straight. He's limping. He's favoring his left shoulder. Yeah, he's literally dripping with sweat.
I go over to help her out.
Him.
Him. Okay. Don't ask me why I want to keep calling you her and Ariana him. So don't.
I don't know. Because you're confused.
Because I have a beautiful voice.
Yes, it's that naked chest that you're always showing. It's just there, you know.
Oy. Anyway,
Okay. Um, I go over and help him, or go to not just pick him up. Are you okay? But more, hey, are you okay? Need some help? You look like you went through the ringer a couple times and lost.
It's not over.
What's not over? What'd you find out?
We need to get
I give him
inside.
my shoulder to lean on.
We need to get inside.
Where?
In the house.
Okay, I help Sky get there.
okay. As you guys walk in, Sky, first thing you notice, Lazen sitting on the corner of the table. And you're like, wait a minute. That looks very familiar. And you kind of have to do a triple take to make sure you're not still in your vision. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Go on.
Works. Um, I will limp up to and the four of them are still there and moving extremely slowly.
The four that we brought back here, wait, they're still here?
Yeah, they are here and they are essentially in a coma. Again, not that you guys really know what a coma is, but
I will go up to Bren again, place my hand on her shoulder, neck, clavicle area, and say, I'm so sorry for everything. And then I'll turn back to Ariona and say they continue to suffer because the evil has not completely been dealt with.
I will say again, what evil? What are you talking about?
The evil from the island.
I believe so. I saw all of you. It was surreal. And they, pointing at our 4 guests that are in a coma, each of them multiple times told me that they should not be here, which is understandable, but I don't know. I kept asking how to get them back. I don't know, back home, back to their time period, back to something, and they kept repeating that they don't belong here. And at the end, Sorsha said, and I'll look over at Sorsha,
She'll just kind of raise her eyebrows at you. Like, me?
I will nod, said that, asked me if the evil had been taken care of, then why would they be suffering? So if they are suffering, it can only mean, and I'll raise my hands kind of like in a shrug kind of thing, like something went wrong.
I say, why don't we pick up one of the items? Since these 4 sleep, I can finally speak my piece. Why don't we pick up one of the items we need to destroy, as you described it, and go back to the island with them and destroy at least one item? And then, since we no other place that we've fixed and destroy one item and see if bringing them back to the island helps them.
There are two things with that. One is that we've been given to understand that all 4 of the artifacts must be together to be destroyed. And also, how do we get them back to the island? The only way we have at our disposal right now is another ship ride.
No, there's more. We have other ways.
Okay.
He looks at Lazem and says, "Then how did we get here? And other ways?" And because he's lost already, but he just like we got here so we could go back the same way. That's what he's saying, you know. And he says
Your
it in low.
mentality is your mentality is magic got us here, so magic could get us there.
Yeah.
I will explain that I that I brought with me 2 figurines from Moran Village. So if we find somebody like Varric, or maybe Stumbleduck can do this for us, we can get there without issue. Though it might cost us.
Doesn't it always?
Out of character. It's a never-ending story.
And was
You
there any
wouldn't want it to be
fucking
easy.
Right.
the only part of the island that we didn't explore is the underneath the waterfall. Or the water trickle, or whatever you want to call it.
The cave under the, or in the pond.
Yeah, the lake. That was the only unexplored region that we didn't. And if we're going to do that, don't we need something to breathe underwater in case it takes a while to figure out what that is underneath there? So preparations would be needed. Because I'm not a water dragon where I can breathe underwater.
Sky might be able to help with that.
If we go back, maybe we can put these guys in the area that we've cleansed so that we know they're safe.
Do we really know that the area's been cleansed?
I look at Ariana.
I'll just kind of shrug. It seemed like it was, but maybe it was.
Or
This
Um,
temple felt cleansed.
yeah, you definitely know that the temple has been consecrated.
But that doesn't mean the whole island has been cleansed. And if this, if the magic, if the evil has been corrupting the island from Vecna for years or centuries or however long time exists on that place, the rest may still have underlying effects. And we left Ilaria there on the. I'll kind of grimacingly look at Sorsha, the horrible creation of Ilaria that has been taken of her form.
Sorsha's face goes pale, and for a drow, that's a unique feat. tears come to her eyes as she hears this. Which is something you guys have seen twice since you met her. 3 times if you include this one.
I'll walk up to Sorsha and embrace her and say, "We'll talk about it tomorrow when maybe all of us get a good night's sleep and sort out our thoughts on this whole matter."
I remember the 2 holy spots in the city, and I mentioned it to Ariana that do you believe that we may have to consecrate each of the holy locations on the island?
Those little they aren't temples; they're just shrines. Didn't seem to be desecrated.
No.
Okay.
They seemed appropriately um
Appropriately good or evil, depending on who was there.
yeah, appropriately aligned to their deities. If that makes sense.
Does to me. Don't know if it does to him.
I checked the map. Okay. Do we have access to all the maps still
What do you mean?
of the island?
Yeah, they would be in one of the scholars' bags. Actually, they'd probably be in Biddle's bag.
I look at those, and didn't we grab one from the ship as well?
From what?
From the ship,
Yeah.
Uh,
wasn't
from the
there
Rhyme
a
Guard.
what?
From the Rhyme Guard, yes.
Yeah. I compare all the maps, and I see if there was any other possible religious or on the maps that could shrines or anything else.
Nothing that's marked.
It is just about time to end as well.
Well, seems appropriate that we end this on a mystery that we all get to wait 3 weeks to understand to try to solve. Y'all get to stew about this for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he says that with such a happy voice, doesn't he, Sky?
Boo! Boo!
Hey, it gives us 3 weeks to think of ways our characters could assume to make this right. That's all.
So, what did you guys think of the vision?
I got to play with cool gold and play around with fairies. I was good.
Fairy dragons. There's difference.
Yeah,
I like the vision.
fairies go, hey.
I was actually thinking about the other kind of fairy, the twinkle twinkle thing. Tinkerbell.
Yeah,
But you like the vision, Bo?
I did, yeah.
Cool.
I did. I was surprised.
Why?
Just I gave you that little paragraph, and I was like, so I'm gonna go out here and do this because I can't figure it out, and tried to word it right, and then all of a sudden it was like, hey, guess what? Here's a vision. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not what I was expecting, but okay, cool. But it was nice. It was great.
I was so excited. No, I'm not doing that. And then I figured out it was a vision for him. But in the middle, I'm like, wait a minute. You never said I was doing that. No.
Yeah, I was waiting for Kenny to, as I walked into the house and saw Lazem sitting on the table, which he wasn't doing initially. I was waiting for Kenny to go. So Sky, I have these things. Do you want to look over them? No, no, you're not. You're not here.
I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Have a safe trip, Bo.
No, safe
Thank
trip
you.
and enjoy yourself.
Where are you going again,
See you
Bo?
guys. Out to Seattle to visit friends again.
Ah,
Oh, nice. I
okay.
missed it.
Well, safe trip.
Hey, if you're able to, go get some
Thank you.
fish.
Yeah, I like fish, so I'll probably go and get some at some point.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll see you guys.
All right.
Okay.
See you free.
Okay. Just a reminder
Oh, yes.
that